Okay, I think it's time to start. You are on mute.
Wow, that's good stuff, man. Hey, you stay in the lab. You keep doing stuff like that. That, and then adding that to the faith meditation. Good grief! My gosh. All right, let's do some intros. Ooh, I tell you what. Let me switch the screen.
Yeah, let me give you back to sharing.
All right, so John, I tell you what. Do you want me to do intros and then you say a few words and then we'll get started? How do you want to do things tonight? That was beautiful, by the way. Absolutely beautiful.
Just go ahead and take intros and go ahead and
Okay.
go ahead and take the floor.
Okay. All right. Give us just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let me find my controls. What just happened? Where are my controls? There we are. Okay. There we are. There we are. I'm going to do intros here. All right. Good evening. Hello, Rose Billion. Good to have you on tonight. Joseph, good to have you. I think I saw Rose was probably here first, and then Joseph came right behind that. Hey, Michael Johnson, good to have you, my friend. Ron Benson from Kentucky, and Canton, Kevin, and Heather, and C. Parker. Is it Sandra or Sandra? Either Sandra or Sandra. Hey, Faith Zone. I like that. John,
Sandra.
Sandra. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Ron, and me and Yusuf, Zane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rosemary. All right, I want to make sure I'm saying this right. So feel free to unmute and make sure I'm saying it right. Is it Kawasi or Kusi? How do I say that? I
Well,
want
he goes by Tino.
goes by who?
Tino, Tino.
Tino. Hey, Tino. Good to have you, my friend.
Yeah.
LK from the great state of Washington. DJ. Good to have you. Andrew Callahan. Cowboy Jim. Hey, John, can we do a special prayer for Cowboy Jim? He is a Dallas Cowboys fan. He needs deliverance.
Absolutely.
Mari and Jay and Linda and Tammy and okay, let's see. I think we got the ones that I see right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on and get things started here. I want to set my alarm so that I am staying within a reasonable time frame. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, tonight, and it's so apropos. I did not know that John was going to have that new audio. And John, it goes exactly with what we're sharing, starting to share on this evening. Okay, let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, every Tuesday and Thursday night for the foreseeable future, there will be a Billion Dollar Mind seminar, followed by an optional sharing on what I really believe is a generational wealth model. Um, so let's talk about these four pillars of faith, and then we'll get into what we're going to start on this week, and then for the next few Thursdays, we're tonight I'm really going to share a syllabus with you, and then for the next few Thursdays, we're really going to put meat on the bone. So the four pillars of faith. Number one, gratitude, or as John so often says, great attitude. We've heard it said that our attitude will determine our altitude. Pillar number two is vision. Scriptures say, write the vision and make it plain. Have you started doing that yet? Have you started writing out, designing your life, designing what you want to accomplish, designing what you want to attain, designing what you want your relationships to look like, designing what you want your health to look like. Have you begun doing that? If not, you want to start doing that vision, write the vision and make it plain. Number three is surrounding ourselves. And a lot of the audio that you just heard, that I just heard for the first time, was about our heart and surrounding ourselves with the feeling of what is it going to feel like when we accomplish the vision, when that relationship is restored, when you are generating the revenue you're looking to generate, when you, let's say you want to be debt free, or what will that feel like to be completely and totally and utterly debt free? And so we want to surround ourselves with the feeling and the emotions, the eternal motions of what that feels like. And then number four is affirmations, making firm that which was not firm because we didn't know about the four pillars of faith. We didn't know the importance of gratitude. We didn't know the importance of vision and not just a wish. John shared that on Tuesday, a very powerful sharing on Tuesday. Not just a wish, but a desire, right? Wish is up here.
I know where it's at.
I'm sorry? We'll have Q&A a little bit later on. So if everyone could please make sure you're muted out. Okay. All right. So we're going to start a series, and we'll be doing this over the next few Thursday nights. Okay. So over the next few Thursday nights, and really looking at all four pillars, but we're going to look at gratitude a lot tonight. Now, and what John was sharing with the audio that you heard earlier, Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinks in her heart, so is she. As we think in our heart, two major components there, our heart space, our mind space. As a man thinks, as a woman thinks in his heart, in her heart, so are we. Second part to that, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So we've got, as we think in our heart, in our mind, as we think, so are we. Then out of the abundance of the heart, our mouth speaks. So if we're speaking negative, then we need to start examining our heart space and our mind space, because we're only speaking out what's in the heart. We're only speaking out what's in the heart. When folks say, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that," well, maybe you didn't mean to say it, but that's what was in the heart. Okay, and so we've got to begin examining the heart space and the mind space, and then thirdly, speak life. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So we have the ability to speak death to those things that we want to die, and speak life to those things that we want to be alive and vibrant and exciting in our lives. So let's put those three together. As a man thinks in his heart, as a woman thinks in her heart, so is he, so is she, so are we. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now we're back to affirmations. We're back to the four pillars. We're back to affirmations. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So we have the ability to either speak death to a thing or to speak life to a thing. So if we're speaking negatively, we're speaking death to the positive part, and we're speaking life to the negative part. If we're speaking positively, we're speaking life to the positive part and death to the negative part. Okay. All right. Now be mindful. If you go back to Genesis 1, We are all created in the image and likeness. One version, New Living Translation, says to be like God. Now, I'm not suggesting that any of us are the Almighty. What I am suggesting is that we all have Godness in us. We were all created in the image of God to be like God. And so I like to use as an analogy, if we were at the beach and you see the huge ocean, the majority of the earth is water, oceans. Okay. Well, if you had a big cup and you put that in the ocean, what's in that cup? It's ocean, not just water. It's ocean water. And all you got to do is take a drink and you realize, ooh, that's not just water, that's ocean water. So we're created in the image of the Most High God. We're like that cup, that vessel, that physical being, okay, that the Heavenly Father has poured Himself into. And so we have the ability to we do what God does. Now, whether it produces negative stuff or positive stuff. So words kill, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Words give life. They're either poison or fruit. We get to choose. We get to choose. Where I am right now has nothing to do with who's in office, who's not in office. Where I am right now has nothing to do with, let's say, if I was working a job, who the boss is, who the boss isn't, or this person did that to me, or this person did that. No, where I am right now is directly corresponding to what's in my heart space. Because as I think in my heart, so am I. It's not John's fault or responsibility where I am. It's not Rose Billion's fault or responsibility where I am. Rose is responsible for Rose. Ron is responsible for Ron. Yusuf is responsible for Yusuf. Now, in my growing up in the Christian community, boy, we put a lot of emphasis on that bad dude, the devil dude. And what I'm realizing as I'm maturing is that I was created in the image of God. You were created in the image of God. And before the fall, before Genesis 3, Adam had dominion over all the animals, and the enemy presented himself, according to the biblical account, as some type of animal, meaning we have dominion. So I'm not concerned about that other dude. I'm concerned about how am I thinking? What's my heart space like? Because as I think, so am I. All right. Now, I want to begin to share a formula with you. Heavenly Father gave this to me about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. A formula right in the scriptures to get out of negative thinking and to immediately, at the speed of thought, to get into positive thinking. Now, I like to refer to negative thinking as ego, edging God out energy. And the positive stuff, the good stuff, the stuff that we all want, Galatians 5:22, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, um, faithfulness, full of faith, self-control. I call that God energy. That's the good stuff. Okay. So when negative thoughts arise, how do we get out of the negative thoughts? Because as we think, so are we. Our thoughts expand and we are what we think about. And typically, if it's up here in our heart and in our minds, ultimately, when we open up our mouths, what's going to come out? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So we're going to go to the scriptures, Philippians 4. And again, this is going to be more like a syllabus tonight because we're going to really um, deal with this over the coming weeks. Okay. All right. So I'm at Philippians 4. I'm going to read verses 6 through 8. Let me see what my time is. I want to stay within a certain time frame. Uh-oh. I forgot to hit the go button. Let's see where we are. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay. All right. So again tonight, we're starting with the syllabus. All right. So what does it say in New Living Translation? Don't worry. Don't worry. Now, I believe that's a placeholder for any negative emotion or any negative thought, any negative feeling. Don't worry. Another version says, don't be anxious. Be anxious for nothing. But again, I believe that is a placeholder for anything that is edging God out, anything that's not God energy. If we're created, I believe, if we're created in the image of the Most High God, what is God like? Is God worrying? Is he fretting? Is he fearful? Is he unforgiving? So any of those negative things, negative past, unforgiving, all that stuff that we don't want is the placeholder right here. Don't worry. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need. Add gratitude. Thank him for all he's done. You see the 4 pillars coming into play and gratitude. Then, look at this promise. Then you will experience not just peace, God's peace. The kind of peace that Jesus had when there's a hurricane, there's a typhoon, they're in the ship, and the disciples are up board and they are afraid for their lives, and Jesus is down in the bottom of the ship, knocked out, fast asleep. God's peace. The winds are howling, the waves are crashing, all hell is breaking loose, but we're at peace. A few weeks ago, I think it was the very first Zoom that we did a couple of weeks ago, and John was sharing about how he lost his son and he got into gratitude and the normal emotions that people would normally have with grief. John was not overcome. I'm sure he misses his son. But what happened was he ushered in God's peace. What does God's peace do? It exceeds anything we can understand. It exceeds anything we can understand. And what else? His peace will guard, defend, protect, watch over, comfort our hearts and minds. Why is this so important? Because as a man, as a woman thinks, so is he, so is she. We want to get out of negative energy. We want to get out of negative thinking. Immediately, we want to pray. That doesn't mean I've got my hands folded and I'm on my knees and my eyes are squinched. It doesn't mean I'm going to a pastor or a priest. No, Pray about everything. What did John share with us? Um, he got a little device. It was so descriptive. I had the whole picture. He got a little device and he put it in the pocket of his shirt. And I saw a button-down shirt. I saw it in his pocket right over his heart. And then every minute it would buzz. And that was a reminder to him to pray. Now, he didn't say pray. What he said was he acknowledged God. What he said was he thanked God. Thank you, Lord. Well, that's a prayer. In all thy ways, my mom, no longer with us on this side. She transitioned. What a remarkable woman last year. When I was in college, she would send me, a little note, usually with some money when I was in college. And the note almost always said, in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct thy paths. In all thy ways, that's praying. Prayer is simply communicating. Prayer is simply a conversation. Prayer, thank you. Today, no, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I was driving and an accident had just taken place. I don't know how long it had taken place before I had gotten there, but it was right there at an intersection. It was pretty fresh. There was nobody else on the scene. There was a young lady who was on the phone, and she was upset. All right, and what was I doing? I was grateful, thankful. It could have been that somebody who got in front of me and was going slow. See, I used to get upset with that. Man, did you just pull? You just turn in this lane and you're gonna go that slow? Not now. Gratitude. Pray about everything. Tell God what you need. Get into gratitude. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard our hearts, our minds as we live in Christ Jesus. And this is how we stay here. Verse 8. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts. We are what we think. As a man thinks in his heart, as a woman thinks in her heart, so are we. Fix your thoughts. Over here, this was negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative energy, negative emotion, edging God out. We pray. We tell the Heavenly Father what we need. Somebody gets on your nerves. Father, I need your help. She
We
tapping the
can't
nerve,
hear
Father.
you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear him. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. You tapping the nerve, Father. I need your help. Tell him what you need. I need your help. I need you right now. For all he's done, get into gratitude. Thank you. Oh, I love what John's been sharing with us. I've been using this, John. Thank you for an opportunity to exercise faith. Thank you for an opportunity to exercise faith. Something happens, I don't like it. Thank you for an opportunity to exercise faith. Bad report from the doctor. Thank you for an opportunity to exercise faith. His peace comes, and this is how we stay with his peace. This is how we stay in a positive mental attitude. Now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true, honorable, right, pure, and lovely, and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. So when something comes in my thought life that is not consistent, John says it like this: if it's not resonating with the frequency of $1 billion, or whatever your vision is, if it's not resonating with the frequency of that relationship being restored, if it's not resonating with the frequency of losing the weight that you desire to lose, if it's not resonating with the frequency, then we want to get out of that and remember the formula. Pray
Can I
about everything.
interject something?
Sure,
really
John.
quickly.
Sure.
Fix your thoughts on what is true. So, too often when something happens, somebody does something that just irritates us, or we think it's just the wrong thing, then we start talking about things that we shouldn't talk about. That really isn't the truth, okay? The truth is all things work for good to those who love the Lord.
Mm,
So, what appears to be true, what we think is true, is oftentimes not true. Most of the time, probably is not true. If we come
mm,
back to the scripture, we think, what is really true? This is working for my good. This is an opportunity to exercise faith. And what follows that? Things that are honorable, things that are right,
mm,
things that are pure and
mm-hmm,
lovely and
mm-hmm,
admirable.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So we immediately go from that which is irritating us and we accept and acknowledge what is true, which is all things work for good to those who
mm,
love the Lord. And then we begin thinking about honorable things and pure
mm-hmm,
things and lovely things and admirable
mm-hmm,
things. We
mm-hmm,
bring our resonance back up to that level of the things we want to create.
mm-hmm. And John, I can tell you that what I've noticed, because 24 hours a day, every second of every day, we're either in a positive space, the true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable, God energy space, even when we're asleep, or we're in the ego, edging God out space. We don't occupy both spaces at the same time. I'm either in God energy, the good stuff, or I'm in ego energy, edging God out, the bad stuff. I'm not in both at the same time. It's either light or it's dark. It's either dark or it's light. And so, what I've noticed, John, is when I do my faith meditation to start my day, the instances of the negative thoughts are greatly reduced because that's a reminder. There we go. Well, I've got my gratitude. I'm listening to my faith meditation, and we'll make sure that we post the faith meditation in the questions box before we leave. So I'm listening to the faith meditation. I'm visualizing what it is that I'm looking to accomplish, writing the vision, making it plain. All right. I'm in gratitude. The faith meditation is taking us on this journey. I am then surrounding myself with the feeling of what it will be like when uh, this vision, this part of the vision is fulfilled. And then I'm affirming. And by starting my day with that, it cuts down on the instances of when I have to arrest negative thoughts. I noticed that the other day, John. One day I did my faith meditation. The next day I didn't do it. And guess what happened that day? I this started kept happening. I had to be very conscious of it. Hurry up, get back out of this and into this. And so I would even suggest, I believe, that even when we're asleep, we're either in one or the other. So before I go to sleep, John, I love to watch. I like crime mysteries, but I'm not going to watch that an hour before I go to bed because I don't want a crime mystery where someone was murdered or raped or what have you. I don't want that in my thought process. Wanted to be a politician once upon a time. So when it comes to presidential politics, man, I used to love that stuff. But it's gotten so polarizing now. I'm not watching any of that stuff um, the last hour before I'm going to bed. I want to go to bed with a faith meditation. I want to go to bed with something that keeps me. If my last conscious thought is a positive thought, is a God energy thought, then I'm going to sleep for hours in God energy. I'm either in God energy, the good stuff, or I'm in ego energy, edging God out, the stuff that we don't want. And so these are things that we can do consciously. Consciously arrest those thoughts. One scripture says, casting down imaginations, arresting those negative imaginations that come to steal, kill, and destroy. Christ said the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. I used to always think that meant the devil. What about those negative thoughts? They come to kill, steal, and destroy. Worry comes to steal my peace, steal my joy. I want to get out of this. I want to pray about everything, be in gratitude so I can experience God's peace. And then to stay there, let's fix our thoughts on what's true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. John, do you want to have it before we talk about the optional model? Do you want to share that again?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me
So
give me
let
the screen share, if
give
you
me
would.
just a moment. I sure will, my friend. Uh, I think I stopped it. Yeah, I did.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Before I go there, I'm going to share something here in Jude, and I've never heard anybody preach on this. It's extremely deep, and that's probably why nobody ever talks about it. But in verse 8, it says, likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. I'm not going to get deep into this. I'm not really going to flesh it out, but this will give you something to kind of maybe chew on. Yet Michael the archangel, the greatest angel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, Lord, rebuke thee. Okay, so if Michael the archangel wouldn't even speak evil of the devil, why should
Mm,
we speak evil of the devil? And why should
mm,
we speak evil of God's children,
mm,
who really are also dignities? Wouldn't the children of God be dignities?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But these speak evil of those things which they know not. Instead of speaking the truth, they're speaking what appears in their mind to be true, but what they know naturally as brute beasts, and those things they corrupt themselves. When we speak these things, we corrupt ourselves. We just need
mm,
to leave them alone.
mm.
Anyway, we could go on, but I just thought I would, it kind of fits into to what you were talking about. What I'd like to do now is I just created a little audio, um, and I'm going to play that. It's not too long. It's about 10 minutes. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you could access 20% of the power of your brain. If you want to become the person you would like to become, manifest something new and powerful into your life, whatever it might be, you first must be able to imagine it. Your heart is able to create anything your mind can imagine, but it only happens according to the degree of attention that you give to changing how you think and how you feel about your desires. Attention leads to intention. So what kind of attention do you place on your desires? Are you giving your desires the kind of attention that will lead to intention, that will manifest your desires and bring all of them into existence? Your dreams are created first in your imagination. Once you are clear on the thing that you want, make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Surround yourself with a feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish, and your wish must be realized. That which you feel yourself to be, you already are or soon will become. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You attract that which you are. You are given that which you are. You receive that which you are. This is eternal law. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And your heart is your feeling center. So if you live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, that you shall be. If this assumption about what you would like to become is persisted in until that feeling dominates all of your other feelings, the attainment of that ideal is absolutely inevitable. In order for you to advance rapidly in the direction of your dreams, you must first assume the feeling of that wish fulfilled in every aspect of your life. If you can place into your imagination what it is that you would like to attract and begin to feel it as if it has already happened, you will meet with success in unexpected ways. Success will begin to chase after you. As soon as you begin to monitor and control your conscious thoughts, your heart will respond and begin manifesting your desires. You may have been told that 96% of everything you do is done as a result of your subconscious mind. But the Bible teaches us that the heart is the power behind creation and that your circumstances are a direct result of the feelings being radiated by your heart. Quantum physicists have discovered that all physical things are made up of photons of light. They have also discovered an energy field that is given off by the heart, which can be measured up to a 15-foot radius around your body, and they believe it extends to infinity. And when photons of light come into contact with this energy field, that they begin to take on the shape of the thought vibrations given off by your heart. This explains the Bible verse, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Photons are obedient to your heart, and that is why you will always attract those circumstances that you have programmed your heart to believe. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Photons of light are that substance. They are alive. They are intelligent. They respond to the feelings that you carry in your heart, and they can create anything simply by agreeing among themselves to do so. The feelings in your heart are put there by the thoughts and beliefs that you allow to frequent your conscious mind. And photons of light respond to the feelings you radiate from your heart. You are the creator of everything in your experience. This is the great secret. This is the mystery known only by the seers and prophets and a few enlightened men and women throughout the ages. You are where you are in your life based upon what you believe, and it's not what you think you believe. It is what you believe in your heart that has held you back from moving into the life that you desire. As soon as you come to understand this mystery, and you consciously begin to train your heart to feel as if you already have the things that you desire, those things will begin to manifest all around you. If you allow yourself to think you're not good enough, that you are in some way doomed to poor health, lack, and failure, you are programming yourself for failure, and until you change the recording in your mind, you will never be able to break free from this vicious cycle. Your words are like seeds that are planted in the fertile soil of your heart, and the more you water those seeds by continuing to say them, they eventually sprout and become your reality. Whatever you say, at some point, You are going to eat the fruit of those words. If you want to eat salad, sow lettuce seeds. If you want apples, plant apple seeds. You can't plant weed seeds and expect to harvest fruits and vegetables. In other words, you can't speak negative things and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk about defeat and expect to experience victory. You can't talk lack and expect to have abundance. You can't say, "I don't feel good," and expect to have good health. When you start saying things like, "I'm happy, I'm healthy, I feel good, I'm blessed, I'm successful in my business, I'm coming out of debt, I will accomplish my dreams," that's not just being positive. You are prophesying victory, success, and new levels of achievement in your life. You will always move in the direction of your words. You will start becoming what you want as soon as you start living in the space of what you want. You need to practice thinking that your desires already exist. You need to feel and act like they are already so. How would you feel right now if your wish at this moment was immediately granted? If you pay attention, you can actually feel that feeling. Then immerse yourself in that feeling so there will be no more delays in realizing all that you desire. The time is now for you to be great. It is time for you to have your desires granted. Don't let a day go by without taking action, and your actions must be in alignment with your words and feelings. Write down your goals, the things you want to see happen in your life, any area that you're struggling in, where you need to improve. Write these things down as if they are already accomplished. Then declare them out loud several times each day. It is not enough to just imagine what you want. Something happens when you speak. You have to prophesy your future. Words that are spoken with conviction will get deep inside of your heart. They will not only change your outlook, but they will change who you are. The more often that you make these declarations, the faster you will become the person you want to be. Your words will become your reality. Make a realistic goal on how much money you want to be earning 6 months from now. Next, you need to visualize talking to people. Visualize people attending our conference calls. Visualize people opening your emails and text messages. Visualize people seeing your invitation on social media and requesting more information. Visualize people picking up your business card or flyer, going to your website and filling out the member application, and spend a few minutes each day visualizing every single detail. This will greatly speed up your success. Follow up your visualization by asking, "How will I feel when I reach these goals?" Pay attention to how your heart feels when you ask this question and carry this feeling with you throughout the day. If you do this, you will unmistakably know what is coming your way, because your heart is better than a crystal ball for predicting your future. And always remember, your actions must line up with what you're visualizing and feeling. Nobody makes money by doing nothing, and nobody becomes highly skilled or highly successful by doing something one time. Don't just hope to be successful. Don't just dream about success. Decide what it is that you want and take massive action until you get it. You can have whatever it is that you desire to achieve. All you have to do is work through your fears, your doubts, and your limiting beliefs and take action to make it happen. You have to be willing to hear the word no. You have to be willing to be criticized by people, even take risks. And don't forget to always be grateful for your present circumstances, no matter what they are. Gratitude gets rid of fear, and when you let go of the fear of not having enough, you will realize that there has always been enough, there will always be enough, And there is even more coming to you right now. The richest person in the world is not the person with the most money. It is the person with the most gratitude.
Mm, my gosh, man. Ooh. Adding that to my faith meditation, which, by the way, we put the faith meditation in the chat box as well as the Billion Dollar Mind Community Telegram room is in the chat box, so you can check that out. Um, John, do you want to say anything before we switch gears and go to the optional?
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't have time to turn that into an MP4. We'll put some get somebody to put some pictures in it, and so we can put it up on YouTube. We will also have an MP3 for people that want to download it. They can put it on their phone or their computer and just access it that way. So um, one of our members asked us about the faith meditation. If she could get that in an MP3, and we'll make those available. I don't know. We'll maybe have a download section on our website or something, but we'll definitely do that.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to switch gears now. We're going to talk about a generational wealth, a generational wealth um, financial model that we have with a billion dollar mind. And I tell you what, before we get into that, John, do you want to or you tell me what you want to do? You want me to
No,
go on and
just
start sharing this, or do you want to
yeah,
just kind of
no,
give us
just go
any
ahead.
update? Oh, okay, got it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is obviously optional. Hopefully, all of you, most of you, if not all of you, will stick around. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about, Scripture says that a good man, good woman leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And so we should be thinking when we are mapping out our vision, it should be more than just what I need right now. All right. There's a buddy of mine that I did business with. He was from China, or at least his family was from China. And one of the things he was sharing with me about his culture is um, he was raised to think 100 years ahead. Now, he knows he's not going to be here 100 years from now, but he's thinking about the generations that will follow. And so, what we're going to share is not just a little bit of money. We're going to share with you what we are claiming, what we're speaking, death and life and the power of the tongue. We're speaking life is a generational wealth vehicle. Now, the first thing I want us to get is that with our generational wealth model, we're going to use a cryptocurrency called Flare. It's so important that we start getting into the cryptocurrency space. John, if you would you tell us the first time you were introduced to Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin was going for?
Yeah, I had a friend that kept telling me to buy Bitcoin when it was a nickel. John, you got to buy Bitcoin. I didn't, but $1,000 then would be worth about $350 million today. So
$1,000
if
worth of Bitcoin when it was at a nickel would be worth about 350 million today.
mhm. So what we're going to do here, our objective is to help our members accumulate not $1,000 worth of flare and not at a nickel, but it's starting at 2 cents. Um, we want our members to have like at least 1 million coins that they can carry into the future, and that's beyond the amount that they're going to be converting into dollars or fiat money that they can buy food and groceries and and pay their day-to-day obligations. So the long-term goal here is to have our members end up with enough flair to really create generational wealth.
John, what are they saying that flares ultimately could ultimately go to in terms of pricing?
There are people who have said it will, they expect it to go as high as $40,000 one day. So that would be better than buying Bitcoin at a nickel and having it what it is right now.
Right.
It would be pretty incredible. Yeah.
So folks, let's say you accumulate 1 million flare. That's really what our minimum is. We want to help you accumulate at least 1 million in flare. And let's say it's not 40,000, but it's $4 a flare. That's 4 million in value. Let's say it's not 40,000, it's $40. But if you've got 1 million in flare, and again, this is after you have converted some flare into usable, spendable cash so that you can take care of what you need to take care of now. Okay. Um, if flare gets to $40 and you got 1 million, that's 40 million. This is where this is a generational wealth model. And the one thing that we're doing, give me a moment. What happened here? Where most um, make money online niche companies or programs, they tend to put the cart before the horse. The cart is the income opportunity. Okay. Well, what we want is we want the horse, the engine. That's the heart space. That's the mind space. That's the four pillars of faith. That's what we want driving. And then we have the BDM generational wealth model. Okay, so let's break this down. So our generational wealth model is a donation plan. It is taking advantage or it is leveraging another timeless universal law, a universal principles found in the scriptures. We reap what we sow, number one. Number two, we've got to sow to reap. Number three, we reap more than what we sow. So we've set up a donation plan. All right. There are no monthly subscriptions, so nobody has a monthly bill. There are low, medium, and high ticket donation packages, and thus low, medium, and high ticket donation payouts. Okay. So nobody's got to break the bank when you are donating. That donation is going to go to another community member. It's either going to be the person that referred you to the $1 billion Mind community, or it might be the person that referred them. Okay. There's going to be an 80% payout. Now, why is this so key? Well, usually companies that make money online, make money from home niche, can't afford to pay out 80% because there is a physical at cost product that they may be sending out. Let's say a great nutritional product, maybe a company has a wellness product. Okay, they've got to pay for the creation of that product and shipping it out. Well, our product essentially is our live Zooms, recorded Zooms, and what we call our um, transformational nuggets that tend to go out 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week. Now, over time, this type of content with the library that we're building could easily go for tens of thousands of dollars. I know I've invested in personal transformation, personal growth seminars, and things of that nature into the tens of thousands of dollars. Now, the one thing that those programs didn't have with it, most of them utilized principles that were scriptural, but they did not invoke the presence of God because God was more abstract. It was infinite intelligence and then the principle. We want the principles and God's presence, the principles and God's favor. Now, 80% payout to one person. So most companies can only afford to pay out 35 to maybe 50% because we're not manufacturing a physical product. That means more can go out to the community, number one. Number two, because it's not being diluted. So the payout's not being diluted among 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 folks like you would normally have in the home business arena. All right. So one person is getting 80% of the donation. Some other highlights. unlimited width and unlimited depth. That'll make a lot more sense in a few moments. One single payout on the low end could be $8. Now I'm going to say dollars or bucks, but know that everything coming into the system is going to be flare coming in, flare going out. So $8 in flare. Okay. You can also receive a donation where your payout could be up to 16,000 in flare. One person can get that. All right. The beautiful part is that payments will be upon demand. So let's say that Vernetta Johnson, Vernetta, good to see you. Vernetta has been a part of our family for well over 20 years now. So let's say that Vernetta referred Joseph. Joseph makes a donation. Okay. Vernetta gets 80% of that donation. When she goes into her $1 billion mind back office, she sees, she's got some flair there from a donation. Well, if she wants to go on and withdraw that, she can click a button, withdraw that flare, and it'll go straight to her own DeFi crypto wallet. If you don't know what that means, that's decentralized finance. You'll learn all this stuff, okay? But a DeFi crypto wallet is basically your own crypto bank, okay? All right. Now, what are the donation options and then the payout amount? So on the left-hand side are the options. On the right-hand side are the payout amounts, 80%. So someone starts, they come inside, they make a $10 donation. Okay. That's going to pay out $8 to one person. Let's say they then decide they want to make a $50 donation, and they can, when the back office, they can click the 10 and then they can click the 50 and then they can click the 100, whatever works for them. Okay. All right. So on the 50, $40 is going to be paid out. On the 100, $80 is going to be paid out. 250, 200. You see that left-hand side is the donated amount. The right-hand side is the amount of that is actually paid out. 80% being paid out. Now, everyone will start at a donation amount that makes sense for them. Nobody should hurt themselves. A matter of fact, raise your right hand and pledge that you will not hurt your family. You're not going to borrow money for this. All right. And you'll hear us say this a lot. If you can't afford to lose it, you cannot afford to donate it. And with that being said, you do want to donate as much as your resources allow to start. Because what that does is each amount that's donated qualifies you to receive that donation. So if I started out, let's say, I believe a lot of people will do this. I'm not saying that you have to, obviously. Okay, you could start off with the $10 donation. You never even have to make a donation. That just means you won't be a part of the generational wealth model. All right. But let's say someone did this, just as you see it. 10, 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000. Okay, that's $1,910 in flare that would have been donated. Well, if a person did that, then they would be qualified that when somebody comes aboard and does a $10 donation that's connected to them, they immediately get the 8, they did the 50, they immediately get the 40, they did the 100, they immediately get the 80, so on and so forth. Now, at the end, I'll have John to come back and he'll share, well, what happens if you did up through here and maybe somebody else did this here that you referred, do you lose that? In most models, you would lose it. Most models, you would forfeit that. John has shared that that won't be the case here. Okay. It will be put on hold for you. But we're going to remember, we're going to follow the universal law. We reap what we sow. We got to sow to reap. But when we reap so much more than what we sow. Now we've got a few more options here. You got a $2,500 donation option, pays out $2,000, $5,000 pays out $4,000, 10 grand pays out 8, 20 grand pays out 16. If you do all of the numbers, and so there's two major things that we want to help you. All right, you got to do your part now. Do your meditations, write your vision, make it plain. Working on your thought life. Negative thought, hey, let's get out of that negative thought. You got to do your part now. But we're going to do as much as we can to assist you. We want to help you build at least 1 million flare, and we want to help you to progress all the way through the donation model so that ultimately, when someone connected to you progresses all the way through the donation model, that means that when they donate 20,000, you get 16. But before they donated to 20,000, they donated 15,000. You got 12 there. But before they donated to 15, they donated 10. You got 8 there. So on and so forth. This comes up to just under $50,000. Now, let me step away for just a moment and put my pure, I've been in the marketing arena for 30-year hat on. When I see that every person that's connected to me could potentially, maybe, perhaps, that could generate over time almost 50,000 in donations, then I want to have a lot of folks connected to me. Because even if a person doesn't progress all the way through, some folks are going to do it. And if they keep coming to the Tuesday night and the Thursday night Zooms, the live ones, and watching the recordings, getting the transformational nuggets, and really applying that, things are going to happen. People are going to contact them. People are going to get in touch with them. They're going to see their content on social media, so on and so forth. Now, let's talk about the structure. All right. So, everyone tonight, put yourself in Sue's position. You are Sue for tonight. Okay. And let's say that Sue invites Jorge. So tonight's Zoom is recorded. It will be posted in the Telegram channel in the morning. One of the things that we often do also is post the raw file. That way, if you want to load it up to your own YouTube channel, or you want to take one of the transformational nuggets and load it up to your social media, all right? So that you can also have a call to action. They watch that, join you. We don't have the links available yet, but they'll be coming soon, where people can immediately click on your link and join you after watching one of the recordings or what have you. All right, so she refers to Jorge and Sasha and Becky and Paul and Rodney and Elizabeth. Okay. She can refer unlimited with as many as she would like. You can refer as many as you would like. Okay. Now, let's put the donation amounts up here. And I'm going to assume that she starts off with these donations. Okay. And that comes up to 1910 when you do all the numbers here. She's ultimately going to want to do these here, but this is going to come from profits, or let me not say, let's say surplus, since we're dealing with donations. This is going to come from surplus, okay? Surplus donations that she's receiving. All right, so we're going to start over here for our example. Do you have to start there? No, you start with what makes sense to you. All right, now she referred Jorge. First person that she referred that made a donation. Jorge's donations are going to go to Sue. He is connected to Sue. You may also hear me say coded. That's kind of marketing language. I'll try to say connected, but if I say coded, I'm saying the same thing. Sasha is the second person that Susan referred. Sasha's donations here, because Jorge was the first one that donated, Sasha's donations are going to go upstream. They're going to go to likely Sue's referrer. The third person that Sue referred is Becky. Becky's donations go to Sue. Then Paul was the fourth. Paul's donations go upstream. So Jorge went to Sue. Sasha, second referral, went upstream. Becky donations went to Sue. Paul's donations went upstream. Okay. Now, the 5th, the 6th, the 17th, the 39th, anyone from the 5th on is going to be connected to Sue. Anyone connected to Sue When they donate, their donations are going to go to Sue. Let me say that again. Anyone connected to Sue, who's connected so far? Jorge is, Becky, her third is, Rodney, her fifth, Elizabeth, her sixth, and anybody beyond that is connected to Sue that she referred. She gets their donations. 80% goes to Sue. Okay. Now, what about Jorge? The first person he refers, he gets that donation. Second person he refers, we reap what we sow. We have to sow to reap, but when we reap more than what we sow. Melinda here is the second person that Jorge referred that made a donation. Melinda is going to be connected to Sue so that Melinda's donation goes to Sue. What if Melinda progresses all the way through in time? Sue. We reap what we sow. We got to sow to reap. We reap more than what we sow. All right. Now, let's say Jorge also has his third Ralph here, has his fourth Raul here. Well, guess what? Raul is the fourth of Jorge and is going to donate to Sue. So look at what we have here. We've got Jorge donating to Sue, Becky donating to Sue, Rodney donating to Sue, Elizabeth donating to Sue, Melinda donating to Sue, Raul donating to Sue. Okay. But it doesn't stop there because Melinda's second and fourth, they donate to Sue. Raul's second and fourth. Remember, Sasha was Sue's second. Sasha donated upstream. Paul was Sue's fourth. Paul donated upstream. So now Jorge's second donates upstream. That's to Sue. Jorge's fourth, Raul, donates upstream. That's to Sue. So Melinda's second and fourth donate to Sue. Raul's second and fourth donate to Sue. But it doesn't stop there because this person's second and fourth, and this person's second and fourth, and this person's second and fourth, and this person's second and fourth. And same thing with Becky, her second and fourth, and their 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 second and fourth. And Rodney connected to Sue, his second and fourth, and their 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 second and fourth, and Elizabeth's second and fourth, 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 all to
Before
an
you
unlimited.
erase that, can
Yes,
I
sir.
share something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you said that each person potentially is worth $50,000, right? Each one of those lines that you've drawn is
Yes.
potentially worth $50,000. You
Yes.
know that you only need 20 of those to be $1 million.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
you're going to get paid in flare coins. At today's price, that would be 50 million flare coins. At $1 each, that's $50 million. At $10 each, that's 500 million. At $20 each, that's a billion. At $100 each, that's $5 billion. At $1,000 each, that's $50 billion.
Mm. Mm.
There's never been a program that will pay like this one.
Mm.
The potential here is astronomical. And you see, you can go unlimited width, you can go unlimited depth. It's
Mm-hmm,
really
mm-hmm.
in how much do you want? How much of this pie do you want? How willing are you to go to work for it? How hard are you going to work? For those who get in and for the first 90 days just put their head down and they do their visualization, they do, you know, they work this like there's no tomorrow. You could literally set yourself up in the first 90 days of for the rest of your life. Naturally, you probably won't want to stop there. So what are we going to do with all this money? $1 billion, one person has $1 billion. You can do a lot of good. I plan on building some orphanages, etc. But really, $1 billion is still quite limited, isn't it? But if 1,000 of
Mm,
us had $1 billion,
mm,
that's
mm,
$1 trillion, right? What could we do collectively with $1 trillion?
mm.
It would be phenomenal. I mean, uh, yeah, we could pretty much stop world hunger. We could, uh, that's the potential of this program. And I
Mm,
think I'm beginning to really
mm,
see my vision unfold.
mm.
Uh, it's just pretty incredible.
The who you vision stretcher you. I was a long time ago. I'm in a business, and they talked about $1 trillion, and they said that $1 trillion, if you took $1 bill, stacked a trillion on top of each other, it would take you to the moon, bring you back, and you would still have change.
Mhm.
$1 trillion. Wow. This, what we say this, we've been saying this for years. I'm seeing it come to fruition. Let's transform the world together, starting with yours. We're almost finished here, almost finished, and then we'll give it back to you, John, for closing words. Might have some optional Q&A. All right, let's see here. Now, I want to show you this. I want to show you just how powerful this is. Okay. So before I showed Sue, she had referred six, and then she could refer a lot more than that. All right. Let's say that Sue has referred Jorge so far. Okay. That's all Sue has referred so far. However, now we know that Jorge's going to be the first person that Sue referred. He makes a donation. So she's made donations. He makes a donation. She gets those donations. Still, however, though she's only referred Jorge, Melinda, Jorge's second, is still going to donate. And then Raul, Jorge's fourth, is still going to donate. And still the second and fourth, 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 so on and so forth, still um, donate too soon. Now, let me tell you why this is so important. Because most companies are going to have a couple of gotchas. So one of the gotchas is, I remember I saw this same model, the same, first sold to you, or it was a product package bought from you. The second bought from your sponsor or your referrer, third and fourth and what have you. But with that particular model, John, you could not get anything from Jorge's second and fourth until you had referred for yourself. So if you never referred those four, and they didn't bank anything for you. So if you missed all of this because you hadn't referred before, you just missed it. And what John, because of his heart, John was like, look, let's put these donations in the hands of the community. What your goals are, what your vision is, your vision, you got your own vision board. You got your own vision. I've got mine. John has his. All right. But the more that goes into the hands of the community, the more we can impact the world, transform the world together, starting with ours. Now, this starts to happen. There's no reason why you shouldn't refer a second, third, fourth, fifth, 17th, 100th, so on and so forth. I think I'm finished here. Let me just make sure. And then John, you feel free to take it over. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, John, do you want to give us just some updates on where you are with programming, and then we can do a few questions, do some optional Q&A?
Sure. If you want to give me back the programming,
Sure.